Wow, I'm excited. That was a really exciting.
Right?
Yeah, that was
Aren't you
exciting right
pumped?
there.
Hey, welcome everyone. We're here.
Look,
We are here. Oh, Jesus saves. I love it. So everyone, welcome to the new show that we have for you leading up to World Cup 2026. We figure two guys that talk soccer. So
that's
here we are. My
us.
name's JR.
And I'm T, and I don't really know anything about soccer, but I do know what I do know, and I do know exactly what to say because we're here about our hot takes. It's not, you know, cold takes. It's hot takes. So I'm
Hot
here with
take.
all my hot takes for U.S. soccer, for all soccer.
Hot takes. You are here. We are here. I'm here. And we have a special guest as well
We
who's
do.
not, we won't pop them up yet because we're gonna talk about them in a second. But yeah, so we're super excited to talk soccer. As you know, a super soccer fan I am for the US. Let's go. We have this, we got this.
I thought you were
Um,
Mexico. I thought that was your team.
normally I am, but today I'm supporting the US, like,
Oh,
most of
oh, just
the
today.
fans.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, just today. Yeah.
But then
Um,
also England too. I bet you get mistook for an English fan all the time,
I
especially
do
when you
all
tear
the
your
time.
shirt off, and then the
Yeah.
reflection goes on you.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Yeah,
So
that's what I thought.
100%.
I thought
So
so.
yeah, so let's give our viewers a little bit about us, Troy. So let's talk. Did you ever play soccer? Did you play soccer?
Yeah, when I was 7 years old, I played soccer. And that was because my mom's like, ugh, Troy Parker need to do something else other than the football and the baseball. And my dad's like, that ain't no real sport. Because, he's old school. He's a greatest generation guy. Like some people joke, I am a greatest generation guy. But yes, I played soccer for like one thing there. And it was like, I don't know. The massive kids ran around and kicked the ball, and that was it. And then I went and played Little League, and then baseball was my thing. So, yes.
Nice,
What about you,
nice.
JR? Did you play soccer?
Yeah, so I played growing up since I was like 4 years old. I played all the way through like 18, like competitively. We went to state with my high school team. We did really well. Totally different scene than we have now in the U.S. and how they are developing. But I played pretty competitively, and then I would play different leagues in Pasadena when I moved down to California after 18, like when I was going to college. And then I played pickup games here or there. I played in Russia. I played in Ukraine.
Huh.
Some random like friendlies against some kids over there. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Russia and
Um,
Ukraine. Uh-oh.
yeah, yeah. So I played in different areas. And how about so I used to be faster than everyone on the pitch. I didn't have the technical quality to really finish a lot. So I played forward. I played midfield because I could run all day,
Mm-hmm.
and I played defense for the longest because I have really quick reflexes. So
Mm.
that's kind of my history. I played all over the pitch. Um, I can play any position, but I sit really well at either midfield or defense.
Okay.
Yeah. So watching soccer. You watch a lot of soccer, Troy?
With you, the only
There you
time
go.
I ever watch soccer is with you, JR. That is the only time. Other than that, I did back in the days, and I was an original fan of the MLS. I did love the MLS. I had inaugural season tickets to the, what were they called? DC United.
Whoa.
DC United. I had all the chants down. Marco Echeverry, Johnny Harks, ooh, ah, Johnny Harks, say, ooh, ah, Johnny Harks. I had them all down. I loved soccer. I loved watching it. And then, of course, I always watch World Cup soccer.
Of
But
course. Of
then,
course.
not really other than that. I have not been to any LA Galaxy games. I'll just say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah. So I of course watch soccer. I watch a lot of soccer. I watch the current U.S. players play on their club teams. I kind of am in the know on a lot of things going on soccer. I love watching for the tactics, for everything about soccer. But
Hmm.
so yeah, super fun.
What do you like
But
most about watching soccer? Because a lot of people think watching soccer is boring. So what do you like the most about watching it?
It depends what you're watching for. If you're wanting to watch a game that's going to score 97-16 or be like crazy, then that's not necessarily, that. I'm watching for the tactics. I'm watching for how the players play, having been a player. I'm watching for, obviously seeing some of the fouls are fun, seeing some of the guys get crunk. That's always fun. I
That's
think we
always
do
fun.
enjoy
Sure,
that.
of course.
And seeing the team win. I like to see the team win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they're not winning, then, obviously there's some things. I think I've only rage quit watching one game or maybe two games recently, which we can talk about
We just
later.
rage quit that one in
Yeah.
SoFi. That was
Yeah,
pretty bad.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Where I'm like, I'm done. Like, I can't put up with this, etc. So, but I watch a little bit of everything. So that's what I like about soccer. I love. I kind of feel like I'm still there, even though I'm not there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Makes good sense.
So yeah. But speaking about someone who was there recently, we have a special guest that we brought in who has played more recently than either of us. So let's bring him in here. Leo, come on out.
Literally bring him in. He moved up on the stream, and here he is, Leo.
Leo.
JRT, thank you for having me, guys.
Thanks for joining, Leo.
Of course.
All right, let's talk.
Yeah,
soccer.
let's talk. Real talk. So, Leo, why don't you give us your background? Like how long did you play for? What position? Give us a little rundown.
So I started at like 5 years old. It was like my parents were trying to figure out, hey, what sport does he want to play? They threw me a football. They threw me a baseball, and then they threw me a soccer ball, and I didn't want to let it go. Joined a team for like my local gym. They had like a league going.
Yeah.
And then from a young age, it was like, so at the start when you first start playing soccer, Jerry, you might know a little about this, U2T, like it's everyone just clumps together. You know what I mean? Everyone's just chasing the ball. Then my dad was like, dude, like, look, you got to get the ball and don't just follow the crowd, like move around the crowd. So I would be like running around everyone with a ball, and I started getting an understanding early on, an advanced understanding as far as like how to play the game at 5 years old, which at that time, I mean, it was 2000, I'm all young, 2007 or 2008.
Wow.
Yeah.
You weren't even alive when the last World Cup was in the U.S., which
that was in the 90s, right?
94. Yeah. It was in the 90s. Both Troy and I were alive.
I know. And I was like, I was about 97 at that point, so I was pretty old at that time. So
yeah. You're already getting there.
I know.
I wasn't even there yet. So then so started playing, and then from there went from club soccer to playing for Orlando City Youth Academy all the way up until I was 15 for their top teams. We were traveling the country, the state mainly. We stayed in the state, but then for different tournaments, we were going all over, getting really competitive. And then I kind of found my peak for the game. We'll talk more about that in detail later, but yeah, I played for about 10 it was about 12 years, 10 years competitively.
Wow. High level.
High stress.
Yeah.
High pressure.
And as a kid, right? You're a kid. How is that as you're a kid to manage all that stress? I mean, what were the outlets like?
Honestly, I didn't get the chance to be a kid. Yeah, it's tough. And that's the difference between someone who makes it and someone who doesn't. It's this from a young age, from 7, 8, 9 to in your like it is all you like. It takes a warrior to be able to handle that. You don't get friends, you don't get time, you can't get your homework done because you're on the field all day. And then after school, you hit the field, you're practicing for 3 hours, then you're eating, then you're resting, then your homework. I mean, it's a hard thing. So, it takes a lot of skill from a young age. It takes a certain mindset. With this one.
For sure. And then those friends that you have, I mean, when you're on the pitch with I don't know about you guys, or Leo, but when you're playing with the other players, they are your friends. You're kind of there with them because you're on the same team. But also, is there that feeling of competitiveness, like you're always competing, like they're sort of your competition, or that like they're friends, but also not, like because you're going for the same spot?
Of course. Yeah. So at least with this MLS program, we had three different teams. And you basically had, I'm pretty sure it was like white one, white two, and then purple. And you've got these three teams. So basically, like your JV, your varsity, but you had one more beneath that. And it was you knew everyone. Everyone knew each other. We all traveled together and played in different tournaments, but it was like we all were trying to make that highest level team. And it was so tough. It was
Yeah,
tough. And like we were like, hey, we're friends, but there was also that cutthroat, like tryouts are coming up. I am going to do this extra hard slide tackle on you,
Mm.
knowing that we have tryouts. Like there was some sabotage going.
yeah,
People, I mean, I played other sports. I did the football, but with soccer, like the psychological warfare that goes on in there, it's tough within those academies
yeah,
for sure. And at a young age, that can be a lot to handle.
Oh, without question, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you're an adult at that point. It's almost as if you're in the corporate ladder climbing there.
Right.
Yeah, the whole idea of these kids sabotaging each other, like I'm gonna Leo's really fast. I'm gonna slide tackle him, hinder him a bit. So over the weekend, when the scouts are coming out or whatever it is, whatever that conversation is, that you're not up to your ultimate, best. Yeah, I could totally see that. Wow.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
never thought about it like that. This is very eye-opening.
yeah. That's crazy. And what positions did you play?
So I started out as forward because in my mind that was the judge, jury, executioner. That was the guy who made everything happen. Then I realized as I matured in age, I also matured in playing style. Not to diss on that position. I mean, every position is incredibly important, on and off the pitch, for a team to be successful. But I realized that for me, center midfield was I just found my home there, you know,
Yeah,
controlling the pace, bringing the team up, bringing the team back, keeping keeping the flow. Like you talked about, soccer isn't 16 or 102 to 97. It's slow pace, it's tactical, it's flow, it's pressure, the balance between pressures between, an offensive and defensive, which switches almost instantly at some points. It's on and
yeah,
off. So being in a position that you really control the pace, that you can control the foundation, keep the flow of the game in your favor and in your control is a big part of what center mid does. So I kind of that's where I fell into. That's where I found my home in through high school, and my like my MLS program days. I was doing I was kind of in that area.
mm.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that's the playmaker role, right? You're literally in the center of the field, watching what's going on behind you, in front of you, always knowing where everyone's at, just having that kind of like grand scope of things for the whole
Yeah,
field.
that awareness is a big
Yeah,
part of it for sure.
huge.
So did you
Um,
get to meet a bunch of MLS players? I mean, you were kind of in their
It's
camp
funny you
there.
say that. So I had season passes for the Orlando City MLS. Well, it was actually before they were MLS.
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing with them before they were MLS. Then we became an MLS team
Ah,
for Orlando City. Orlando
exciting.
City, the Lions out of Florida.
Yeah.
And we um would go to dinner with them. As like I would go and we would have dinner. Like they would go play a game and we'd go have a bite after. And like talking to these guys and just like looking up to them and walking out on the pitch to them for the national anthem or being a ball boy on the pitch, like at our stadium. And it was just like it was really great. But it was also a lot of pressure. And it was this thing where even when I would go to the games, I would be watching and I was like I couldn't even enjoy it. Where I was just like I was like I need to study and I want to be
Ah,
there. And like I felt uncomfortable being in the stands where I was like, I need to be on the pitch. but like meeting these guys and getting to know the industry and the locker rooms and how it works. And when I realized that that competitiveness and that cutthroat, it doesn't stop. It gets worse and
Oh,
worse and worse and worse and worse. And not
Wow.
worse, but more intense. Not
Yeah.
worse. I mean, that's what it takes to be
oh yeah,
a professional
Yeah.
soccer player. When
got
For
people
it.
say,
sure.
"Oh, anyone can
And
play soccer," no, dude, it takes an
yeah.
animal from a
Yeah.
young age, moving into being a mature young man, and like you learn a lot about yourself. But it is intense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Speaking of professional soccer players, we're going to go, Leo, that was really eye opening. A lot of the stuff you talked about and like the questions that we asked. I love that. And I think our fans or viewers that we have are going to really love a lot that you brought. And that's going to transition into, we're talking World Cup 2026 coming up. And a big part of that you have is you have the players, you have the coaching, you have the fans. And I want us to start out with the players. We're going to kind of talk about where the players are currently at, like mindset wise, because you were talking about how it's super important to get mindset. Where are they at? What are they doing? We're going to start off with a video. T, why don't you cue up that? This is from our experience at a game.
Ah, this is us at SoFi Stadium. Here we go. Oh, he told them to shut up. That's so funny.
Just before the corner kick. So that was Pulisic, arguably one of the greatest U.S. players of all time. That was our USA versus Panama. It was a semifinal game. They were not doing well that game. They looked sloppy. They looked tired. It was really, really unfortunate because that was the first, I think, competitive match that wasn't a friendly that I had seen in person with the U.S. team. Because they don't come around to LA very often, which we'll get into why later. But yeah, I don't know. What's your kind of thought about that, Troy? With
Oh, my thought. I'm just like I was flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted when it happened. By the way, for our fans out there, you heard that was my voiceover on that. You don't shush your own fans. Like I get it if you're in like Mexico City and you just score a goal and then you shush them. Yeah, let's go. You don't shush your own fans. And what are we playing golf? I'm telling you, things like that give soccer a bad name. And Leo, this guy's been doing this. He grinds it. He is a player. He knows it. And see when a superstar, and let's just say Pulisic is the face of U.S. soccer, when you do something like that, a normal fan who doesn't know much about soccer, just a normal fan, not a hardcore fan, sees that and is just like, what the hell? So yes, that is my take on that. I'm very disturbed. Leo, what say you, sir?
Yeah, man. I think it just comes down to I think it comes down to frustration. You've got frustrated fans, you've got frustrated players. I think we're going back and forth. We'll get more into the fans in a bit. But I think that he's in a place where he's probably frustrated, and he's also like, he's out here, and every time you get on the field, on the pitch, you are at risk,
yeah,
especially as you later and get further on in your career. So when he's out here and he's pushing himself, I mean, I'm sure with the state of the players, where the coaching is at, where the fans are at, he might have, been frustrated. So from a player's perspective, I get it. From a fan's perspective, I totally see your ideas on that. But I think he could be frustrated. I think he could be, stressed and about like, this isn't Europe, and he probably
yeah,
just is walking in there like, I might be above it, which,
yeah,
is another thing where it's like the US is bringing a lot of high quality, I mean, some of the best players in the world into the US now, and it's just going to take time for them to realize like US is a force to be reckoned with, and it's going to take time. But as far as that moment goes, it's probably not his best fan wise, but I can understand it.
yeah. And it's interesting because that was kind of, I feel like, the start about what happened with, like, there's been a lot of Pulisic drama this summer. Pulisic during the Gold Cup, they were together for a month. They had two friendlies against Switzerland and I'm forgetting right now the other one, but two big friendlies. And then after that, they did the whole Gold Cup run. So they were together for a month. Pulisic basically said, I don't want to come out. I can't come out because I can't guarantee I'll be in my top shape. I've been working nonstop at my club. I'm really tired, etc. And then they went back and forth, and like the fans blew up on Pulisic. Pulisic blew up saying, because all the old pros were talking shit about him, and there was this whole back and forth. And so it was just a lot of drama, kind of like the Gio scandal in 2022. It like kind of brought us back to like now Pulisic is like, guys, I just need rest. And they're like, what do you mean you need rest? Like, you got to be in shape for the top, and you're letting your team down. And so there was a whole back and forth. I think player mentality right now is they want to perform high at their club level, but then they also want to perform on the pitch for the U.S. But to do that all at the same time, you also don't want to risk injuries. So I get it from a professional standpoint. So I get him wanting to take the time off. It is frustrating because you do want to see your best 11 players fielded all the time, which sucks. But yeah, so that's kind of the player mentality I think right now is they're all fighting for a spot, like you said, Leo. They're trying to get in there, get seen before the World Cup, get selected. So I think the player mentality, like it can be a little rough right now, and I think the cream is going to rise to the top, as they say. So we'll see what happens, come in the next couple months. But you know what though is another important factor is the coach.
That guy.
So, that guy.
I don't know about that guy, man. Like, look at the stats here on this guy, huh? Let's just get real about him. Like, read that right there. We've lost our last 7 games against FIFA top 30 ranked nations under this guy. Yeah. And you see those L's and L's and L's and L's and L's.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at it, this is the last 7. This is not including the Gold Cup because those were not, under 30 ranked teams, right? Which are the top of the world. But you have Mexico on there. You have Panama. You have Switzerland. You have Mexico again. You have South Korea. So, yeah, I mean, it is frustrating watching that last South Korea game, which was 5 days ago. The one thing I do have to say about the coach is there was a player, they lost 2-0, right? There's a player on the South Korea side. His name is Son. He just went to LAFC, right? So now he's playing. He's at the top of his game. He scores goals. Yeah, he scores goals. He literally scores, which he scored the first goal because he had space. They gave him room. Then he assisted the second goal because guess what? They gave him space, which you cannot give a player that caliber space.
It's bad coaching, huh?
Coaching.
I would think those things.
Yeah. What gets crazier? Get ready, Troy.
I'm ready. Should I brace myself? I'm bracing myself. Yourself. Jesus and I are bracing ourselves. Okay, I'm ready.
Pochettino coached Son for 4 years at Tottenham. He coached him. He knows this game.
Oh my God.
Inside and out.
Oh my God.
He literally is like, you should know how to set up your players tactically if you have a player like Son. And if you know him, I know him just from watching him for 90 minutes plus in the game. This guy's dangerous. I've seen his stats a little bit. I saw some of his goals with LAFC. But other than that, I don't know a terrible amount about him. But you should know him if you coach him 4 years.
Don't let that guy beat you. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. Wow. You got to man mark this guy. You got to say, hey, Sergino Dest, keep on this guy. Stay with him. I want your hand inside this guy's pocket the entire time. Hold him here. Do not let him have space or let him have the ball. And so that was on Pochettino. That was his bad. So, of course, you have the media blowing up saying, fire Pochettino, fire Pochettino. We have, this guy who doesn't know U.S. players. He's from Argentina. He doesn't know U.S. players. He doesn't know our mentality. He's setting up us wrong. He didn't bring in the best of the best. He's still experimenting 8 months, 9 months for the World Cup. Here's where we are now.
Terrible.
So, So Pochettino gave a response in the news basically saying, listen, guys, we have a system. It's going to take time for the system to work. You have to give us time, give us patience. Like, a lot of people are going bullshit, and he literally cussed the media or the fans. He said it's bullshit, some of what they're saying. I get it. It's important to voice your frustration. You're mad, but give us time. We need time. So that kind of brings us to the next thing. Why don't we bring up this video, this other video we have?
This is a better video.
Austin going on the outside does well. That's a decent cross into the middle, and it's a Diaz! 1-0 for the United States.
He scored a goal.
Alexander.
Is this a
The ball played through towards Balogun. It's a chance for Balogun. It's 2-0. Balogun with the goal.
I like Balogun.
He played really, really well.
Okay.
But that's going to get us into when we talk about the players in our lineups later. So that is an incredible video, obviously, of us scoring. We were outscored 11-2 against all those top 30 ranked teams. The picture you showed of Pochettino earlier, we were outscored 11-2. But we just went up 11-4, and we got a win finally against Japan, which was huge.
There we go. I agree. That is big. I have hope, maybe. Maybe he needs time. But when he says time, we have tick-tock, because the World Cup is coming here. We don't have that much time.
Exactly. And he transitioned to a 3-4-3, which tactically is more attack-minded, right? So he says, listen, we got to shift. Yeah, it's better. It's a much better system, and it focuses on our players.
More fun. Yeah. I love fun. I want to see a game, Leo. I want to see that game that's like 900-700. That'd be a great game.
That would be a great game. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's just attack.
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now the other important thing that we got to talk about is the fans. So you've heard a lot of talk in the media about the fans. Where are the fans? So I will say the game that we all went to, Leo, you were there. We went to in LA at SoFi Stadium versus Canada, right?
Canada. And Leo, you were wearing some stuff on your hat about the 51st state.
It was some stuff that you slapped on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Troy's going around giving pats on the back, and then you look around, you've got stickers back there, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I will say that that stadium was pretty bare, and so I can understand the frustration from the players, right? Because that was bare. They sold a doubleheader, unfortunately. So you had, after U.S. played Panama, the first game, and the U.S. played Canada, it was Mexico versus Canada, and then Mexico versus Panama in the final. So of course, a lot of the fans were going to see, the latter game. So why do I say of course in LA? Why do I say that, Troy or T?
All those Canadians here, of course.
Of course, you're right, 100%.
Well, hey, let's back up real fast. By the way, that U.S. game was at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
On a Thursday. Am I right about that? 4 p.m. on a Thursday. What? Okay, some people work here and they can't get off and we're in LA. You got to get off at 2 p.m. to make it downtown to get to a 4 p.m. game. Why in the world is that game at 4 p.m.? So there's that one right there. And then secondly, of course, you're going to have fans rooting on Mexico and Panama and all the Latin American countries because we have a very big influenced Mexican and Latin American community. So if the players are shocked, like, oh, where's like Joe, from the Midwest, they're supporting us. Well, we're not in the Midwest. So I was not surprised at all, JR.
Now, you know what's crazy? I'm going to throw another thing at you, T. That may surprise you.
All right, let's go.
On the East Coast, they played South Korea. Now, how many fans in New Jersey do you think showed up? And from where?
Where were they? MetLife Stadium?
Yep.
Okay. I bet you they probably had more than here.
So they were fully sold out. They were fully sold out, right? Now, the fans were 10-1 South Korea in favor of South Korea, which was insane. You look at the stadium and it's all pink shirts for the South Korean fans.
Oh, so you're telling me it was 10-1 South Korea in MetLife Stadium?
Yeah, yep, 10-1 fans. So that just goes to show you it is insane what is going on in the U.S. right now. It's really cool to see because there's a lot of support that's happening. But what is I'm not seeing is a lot of like, who are the U.S. fans nowadays, right? Because we have such a diverse melting pot in the U.S. that like I root for three teams during the World Cup. I root for U.S., England, and Italy, but in that order. So I'm going to wear a U.S. shirt, but I will go and watch an England game, right? I don't have an England jersey. I have 13 U.S. jerseys, which is a lot. But who are our U.S. fans? What do you see like showing up World Cup? Are they going to be shouting out for the U.S.? Are they going to show up to shout out for the other team? Like, what do you think is going to happen?
In the World Cup, yes. And I'm telling you this is why. Because then people like me show up, okay? I really could care less about soccer. I'm a football fan. I'm a baseball fan. I could give two shits about soccer. But what I will tell you this is I have one team I root for. One. You will not see me going to watch Mexico and Panama. I have no desire to do that. Zero, none. Okay, I root for one team. And when the World Cup is here, people like me are going to come out of the woodwork. And trust me, brother, there is not going to be a 10-1 South Korean over U.S. in these stadiums. Yep. Maybe here it'd be a little closer, but I doubt it because I think some things are happening here. But it will be USA all day long because people like me are coming out of the woodwork. And I will bet on that. I'll eat my hat and both my shoes.
There's the pressure, man, and the pressure's on. I think USA is a big thing because JR at the start asked a good question. Where are the fans? And I think the fans are waiting for performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I like England. I like Italian football. I like all like European. Like these players are class players. These coaches are class. They teach mentality. They teach the highest level of the sport is played there for a reason. And so when we're sitting here as USA fans of football, and we look over across to Europe or England, you see these stadiums filled and like the fans are, crying and in the streets and partying through the night until the sun comes up when their team wins. That comes from history, a history of performance. And our history is new, and it's going to take us taking these opportunities like the World Cup. We have a golden ticket to pull some people in, which means money, which means better players, which means better performance. I think we have a good opportunity to really bring some attention here with the World Cup.
No, exactly. And, ultimately, I think you hit the nail on the head a lot. It's player mentality, right? So player mentality. And this is not, sidestep that for a second. There's a lot going in the U.S. right now. We know that tensions are high. We know that it's crazy, like what's going on right now. There's a lot of things. So I can understand putting on the U.S. jersey and there's maybe some hesitation, right? People say, I don't like everything that's going on. If they don't like it, whatever, there's some stuff that's happening. But when you put on the U.S. jersey as a team, you got to get together and figure out, what are we actually playing for? What does it mean to wear this U.S. jersey, et cetera? So player mentality, talking more about that. If I'm on a field, I go to play not for how many fans are in the stand. I know they always call it the 12th man, right? Because you have 11 on the pitch and you have the 12th man, which is the fans. You got to tune out that noise, right? I don't care who's out there. I'm going to play for me and for the guys that are on the pitch with me, right? I'm going to bring the energy. I'm going to create it and I'm going to generate it. It's got to start somewhere. So Pulisic quieting the fans, Pulisic having the comments about the fans in the media saying, I'm disappointed how many fans are showing up. The coach, Pochettino, said, I wish we had more fans. Like he went to the Troy, the football thing that they had.
He actually said that? I didn't know.
And he said that.
Terrible.
Yeah. Terrible. He said, I wish we had fans like they do in football. I can't believe that, like, how many fans they have, 100,000 that showed up for this thing. And it's like, literally, it's like,
he just doesn't
I want to just strangle, take the team and go and literally be like, the movie Miracle, right? Go
Yeah.
back to it and just have them say again, guys, again.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, let's get back to the point where you're playing for the pride of it, and just to go. You don't care what's going on and how many people are cheering for you, right?
And we saw that during COVID when you see these players playing in completely empty stadiums. And that was something that was shocking to me, even as a player, seeing at a professional level. You've got teams like Barcelona, Juventus, PSG, big teams that are out there, and stadium's empty. There's no one there. Well, it was a quarantine situation environment, and these guys are out there playing so hard, as if the stadium was filled. It made no difference. I think that's something we could really adopt, something that we can take on and learn from as a team. As we shouldn't be shushing the fans.
Yeah,
there are no fans. Focus on the play. Come on, man.
I love that, Leo.
Yeah. And this is a challenge, right? I'm going to put this challenge out right now to the U.S. team. I'm going to put this challenge out. Show up for us, and we will show up for you. That's all I'm going to say. That's it.
Yeah. Yes. And then you just show up for themselves as a team. And when you see them on the team, and it's like the three of us saw, USA versus Canada. I mean, defensively, we completely broke down.
Yeah.
And it's just like this, it's this like giving up mentality, and they need to be there for themselves, because first it goes to them, then as individuals, then as a team, then the fans get to enjoy the work that they're putting into, and honestly, the art that they're creating on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's well said, Leo. And you who've played on a high level, that's exactly what I hear from every single sport. In baseball and football, they literally said exactly what you just said. We're competing because that's what we do. I want to win, and it's my team. My team's my platoon. They don't even half the time football, they don't even mention the fans. It's them.
It's them. It's them doing the thing and doing the thing at a high level, and that's what us as fans want to see.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it.
So let's see it. Let's watch it.
Yes. So, I will be the biggest fan out there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now, after all that, we talked about all the player, the fans, and the coach. Now the next thing is pick your World Cup 2026 starting 11. So I'm going to show mine. You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, all right, I'll go first with mine.
You go first.
I know we've gone over this stream, but you know what? This is so much fun that I honestly don't care. This is super fun. But we'll breeze through this. We won't spend a super long time. Oh no, this is yours.
Got a little wonky, but yes, you're up. Go.
This is yours.
Is this mine? Oh,
yeah, I think it's yours. Yeah.
No, this is mine. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go first. I guess I'm going first. Are you ready?
Ready.
Here are my, I guess you call them the strikers. Clint Dempsey and Brian McBride. Boom. Here are my midfielders. Landon Donovan, Claudio Reyno. Johnny Harkes say, Johnny Harkes. And my boy Kobe Jones all day long. You couldn't get the ball past those guys. And then if the ball did happen to get past them, oh no, you brother were in a world of hurt, because Eddie Pope, Alexi Lalas, they would just be on you and they would crush you. And DeMarcus Beasley and Marcelo Balboa would just take the ball right away from you and probably shoot it all the way up and score themselves. And then if you happen to take a shot on goal, the Minister of Defense.
Secretary of Defense, actually.
Oh, not the Minister? I thought he was the Minister. See, I don't know.
That would be like in England.
The Minister's in England, the Secretary is here. Okay, I get it. Because you know the whole Department of War versus Department of Defense. I got confused. But anyway, Tim Howard would take you down. You would be gone. You think my boy here, Jesus saves? Jesus don't save like Tim Howard saves.
Tim Howard saves lives.
Bring him back.
I do agree with that.
2026, he's there.
I will say about your starting lineup, Troy. I will say that
There's my
I
starting
do
lineup.
like most of those, but I think they're a little too old to play right now. They're a little bit older than you, Troy.
Oh,
Which is
these guys show up on the field. The other team says, they tap out. They tap out.
Yeah, they would all ask to play defense. Basically,
Okay, let me
they'd be
bring
like,
yours
"Can we
up.
just sit around the net?"
Okay, let me bring yours up. Let's see.
Okay.
JR says, that's funny. I totally mixed these up.
Yeah,
But
which is fine
you know
because we got to go into yours. I saw your traps that you had for me before I talked about mine.
You saw what?
Your traps, the traps that you had for me in your lineup. Okay, so we have mine. Beautiful. Okay, so if you can see these, great. So now, this is the lineup. I'm going to go through the starting 11 real quick. I won't go into why I think they're, what it is. I'm just going to label who I think. So Pepe and Balogun up front. So I basically have a 4-4-2. I like the attack minded. I think to get fans excited, I want to see us come out swinging. You normally don't have two number 9s, but to have two number 9s on the field at the same time, I think is pretty baller. So I'm going to put Pepe and Balogun up top. They've shown a lot of promise for the team. I'm going to show sort of a standard midfield, right? I'm going to show Weah, McKennie, Adams, and Pulisic, all who played during the World Cup. I'm going to show them just dominating the midfield, crushing souls in their playmaking, moving the ball forward. And then a standard back line. I'm going to have Robinson and Dest sort of as the, left and right back, and then Ream and Richards as your center Ds. And then Freese has showed a lot of promise, so I'm going to put him as the starting spot for the World Cup because I think he's shown up, unlike a lot of what I've seen from Turner. I've seen Turner give too many goals away.
Turner is not your guy.
No, Turner's not my guy.
You don't like that Turner guy.
No, Freese has been showing up. He's shot, at Costa Rica. Leo and I watched this game. He was the guy that stopped all those penalties. He saved two penalties. He won us that game. On a very, B/C team that we had, Gold Cup. He stopped the ball.
He has a great name, too.
Yeah, he's got a great name. Freese. Yeah.
I'm going to freeze you
Let's
out.
Go. Yeah. So I can just see the chance now during the World Cup. So I want to see him start. Now, backups, I'm going to go through this real quick. Downs, Sargent, Luna, Berhalter or Cardosa, not the coach Berhalter, his son. Musa and McGlynn. I know, right? Zendejas, Arfston, Miles Robinson, Blackman, CCV, Cameron Carter-Vicker, Freeman, and Stefan. So I think this is almost close to our 23 roster right here. I think these guys proved themselves, and of course in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months could change, but I think this is close to our World Cup roster. So thoughts, guys? Any thoughts on this? I know I kind of breezed through it. We're a little short on time, but
I want to hear Leo's thoughts. I have no thoughts.
Here's my thoughts.
Here's
my thoughts. You've got your players. Let's talk formation. What do you because this is where you really get a flow going. This is the stuff I like to talk about. What do you, JR, what are you doing it how you have it set up here, or do you have a different, what do you have in mind?
Yeah, so I have 4-4-2 right here. Now the thing about this 4-4-2 is you can switch anything. You can drop a player back, you can go to a back five. This allows players to get creative on the field, because if you're having someone that's high pressing and you don't realize how the team is going to go setting up on the day, like minute one, this gives us the most options, I think. Because then you can have Weah, if you're like, oh shit, they're sitting deep, let's pull Pulisic forward. Let's move more into a 3-3-4, or even we have a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3, right? So this gives us the most options and the most fluidity to really adapt to what we're seeing on the field. And I think that's what's compromised us in the last 7-8 games, is we are not being fluid. We are being sticks in the mud, not being able to adapt. So that's why
I completely agree. I see a huge lack of, and that's what I was asking. I see a lack of creativity. I think that's a great word. I think that's something we could use. That's something that I even noticed, where from our coaching at a young age, through, soccer, American football, and there was a huge lack of creativity. And that's why I love center mid, because it was this opportunity for me to move and find space and create attacks and pull back when needed. But it was a lot about just, the fundamentals, but we never broke from that. And moving, if the USA wants to move into a higher level, onto a higher level stage, we need to start playing like higher level players, creating creative, different things happening on the pitch, different players given the freedom to do different things. Shoot the ball. We noticed a big issue with that. It was like, hey, let's like take the shot. We have to start getting creative. And I think, like JR is saying, it starts in your foundation, in the formation, and giving players the ability and the space to create opportunity, create spontaneous attacks and spontaneous movement on the pitch. We're too predictable.
Yeah,
and
too
like
predictable.
you said, we're stuck in the mud and too predictable, and that comes from coaching.
Yeah, and that's why if you have two forwards on the field and then Pulisic and then Weah, all these guys, Dest, even Robinson, all these guys who like to score, even Richards, who's a center back, has scored goals like throughout the Gold Cup. So if you have this, you don't know where the goals are coming from. You don't know when. They're all going to be there just to cook. I'd love to see it 5-0, right? Opening match, World Cup, 5-0, 6-0. Like, let's just dominate. And then we'll talk about getting the fans into the stands.
Exactly.
You will be so over capacity, you will have fans in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I would be there.
Yeah, 100%. Watching on my little TV right outside the stadium to be celebrating once everyone came out of the stands. That's what I would be doing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
If I couldn't get tickets.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of, this is interesting. So we're good on the formation. That was solid. Anything else you want to add on formation, Troy?
Nope. I'm good. I like Leo's answer, though. That is, it doesn't matter what your formation is. If they play what he's saying, your advice, Leo, we have no problems.
We got to get creative, and we have to have the confidence to get creative, and that has bringing confident, experienced, whether they're a little older or not, confident players that are gonna motivate their team, give them something to play around, and create some momentum in U.S. soccer that I think is gonna bring the fans, bring the money, and it's gonna be a snowball effect. I'm telling you, 2035 in the next decade or so, U.S. soccer is gonna really come through. They're investing, and it's gonna pay off. And I think that the USA is really gonna be a force to be reckoned with, and we've got a golden ticket like we talked about. This World Cup is a golden ticket.
I love
exactly.
it. 2035. Good thing I take my vitamins.
Yeah.
Good thing you do.
I'll be there.
You'll be there.
World Cup on U.S. soil. Let's talk about how exciting that is, right? I hope we can get tickets. And, because the last time it was out here was 94, and I've never seen a World Cup game. So I better be able to get tickets. And the craziest thing today, I don't know if many of you know about this, so I'm going to just kind of lay out the steps. There right now is the very first opportunity today to be able to sign up to get tickets. I'm not talking hospitality package, which you spend $2,000 to $7,000, and you can't even select the national team, the host countries. You can't select that yet. But the very first opportunity is today. There's what's called a Visa pre-sale draw. So you go to FIFA.com/tickets, you create a FIFA ID, and you go to tickets. Then you go to Visa pre-sale draw. You have to go enter your information in. You have to enter your address. You have to enter what games you would like to see. You have to enter semifinals, quarterfinals, what matches, etc. And then after that, you have to enter and you have to have a Visa credit card. So if you have a mom or a dad, if you're young, etc., or you know a friend that has a Visa credit card, or even your debit card that has a Visa, right, Wells Fargo, go and enter it in because you have to get in this draw.
Well, JR, send me your Visa and I'll use yours.
Yeah. Okay, so Leo, the number right now is 777-125-7977-876405. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. Now I'm going to
expiration date 11/11. Code 444.
Let's go, North Korea, Kim Jong.
Let's go.
That's my
Got it.
So wait,
Okay.
JR, let me ask you this question.
Here we go.
How long do you have to sign up for? Only today?
No, so you have a 10-day window to sign up. 10-day window to sign up. Once you sign up, they're going to do a draw, right, at the end of this month. So September 29th, they do a lottery draw of all the people that entered into this.
Okay.
So once you do that, then they will give you a time slot. That time slot starts on 10/1 through a certain amount of days, I think maybe a week or so, or you can go and be the very first to buy tickets, even to the home country's matches.
That's all I care about. So, JR, let me ask you this. In this whole thing, can you enter multiple times or just one entry?
I do not believe so, but I have not tried to do a workaround. I believe you might be able to. If you have different email addresses, you might be able to. But they did ask home address, and they did ask
tons of different email addresses.
There you go. So
easy.
Troy,
me and my friend Gemini will be entering a lot. Maybe 15,000.
Let's go. So everyone go and enter. I'm glad I was able to give you this insider info, the very first of it. Because most people don't know what's going on right now, but
I had no idea about that. So thanks, JR. I'm gonna jump into that right after this.
Of course.
Me
of
too.
Course.
Me and my 15,000 emails.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, me and JR's Visa.
Let's go, Leo. Let's go get some drinks later and let's on JR.
Done. Easy. They may check your ID, but we'll see. So final thoughts, guys. Let's wrap it up. Final thoughts. Do we have time? Do we have time to be where we're at, the U.S. team, come World Cup time in June 12th, the very first game of the U.S. playing? Do we have time?
Next June 12th?
Yep, June 12th. We have 8 matches before then. We have 8 matches. We know 6. I'll tell you who we're playing. We're playing Australia and Ecuador in October. We are playing Paraguay and Uruguay in November. It just got announced, not finalized, but Portugal and Belgium in March, which is huge.
They're powerhouses.
Huge. Yeah, powerhouses. So those are 6 of the 8 games. We don't know the other 2, but those will most likely happen right before June, the World Cup. So do we have time to fix what we need to fix, get there, be a force to be reckoned with, build the depth? Do we have time?
What do you think, Leo?
I'm going to have to say we're taking the right steps. But as far as time to be true competitors, I think we're just going to have to see. I think this is, like I said, it's going to take more time. But I do think that we can use this opportunity, in my personal opinion, that this is a rallying of the troops. This is, let's get eyes on the screen. Let's get butts in the stands and in those seats, and nachos and hot dogs in their hands, because this is America, and we're gonna watch those soccer games, man, and we're gonna have fun.
And that's $20 beers.
And $20 beers and $17 waters.
They do taste the best, honestly, I will say.
They're good. That's what I'm. But we just need to get people in the stands, and I think that if the USA can, like we've talked about, just going over bullet points, focus on themselves, stop worrying about the fans, stop worrying about the politics within the sport. Focus on your game. Let's stand out. You're on a world stage. The world is watching. Billions are going to tune in over the course of the World Cup. We've got eyes, so let's take advantage of it. Let's take the next few months to a year to up our game the best we can, and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows what it's going to be? I mean, we've got some players. So
yeah. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, there's a bandwagon in America, and people pile on it all the time. So let's see. Let's see if they can get on the bandwagon, right?
Yeah, I think we can do it. I think we can accomplish the goal. I'm not saying.
So do you think we need to do a reset? People were calling to fire the head coach and bring in, an American coach or a different coach? Do you think it's a reset time, or you think we can get there?
I think it's a great time for a reset. I think sooner the better. Like I said, I don't think the USA should be, at least as fans, we shouldn't be sitting here expecting we're going to win the World Cup and it's going to just be, we're going to plow through these teams and U.S. soccer is going to change for all in eternity. But I do think the USA can take this opportunity to get some eyes on them and make a name for themselves. And
so you're saying reset. Do you mean ground zero reset, like fire the coach, bring in just the best of the best players, or you mean just reset, meaning like we're shifting direction, so let's reset our mentality, fans, players, etc., and just come together?
I think to do a full reset, we're gonna have to rethink the way that we even get players on that pitch. I think there's so much talent. The kids that I played against, I mean, at the top level, we're we're world class. There's an incredible talent, but maybe their parents couldn't afford this program anymore, or they couldn't afford to send them to college. And I think there's a big lack of recruitment. There's a lot of untouched, hidden gem talent that's like just cooking at these youth levels, and youth, I mean 18, 19. And we need to up our scout. We need to reset the way we find players. Because if we can find our players, we can find our fans, which answers your question. And I think that we can have a good team, but it's going to take a big
I think we found a player right now, and his name is Leo. So if you want to,
if anyone's
are you ready to step up? If you got called tomorrow, Leo, would you step up?
Hell yeah,
I would step up.
Hell
I would step up. And I know, I would have T. T would be on my back. I know you'd be up there, man.
All day long.
If you got the call up, we would be there in the stands.
Instead of this, I'm gonna be this. I'm gonna be.
Let's go.
Speak up. Let's get loud.
Let's get loud. Come on. Yeah, we'll go like this. Yeah, we'll go like this, not like this. Yeah.
JR will be keeper. You're
done. I'll be there.
Actually, I think we should get this guy's keeper.
Just don't give me a hairline fracture.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, we might need him we might need him on the pitch. So.
Yeah.
No one will ever score on that guy.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I agree with you, Leo. Reset. A. B. I'm a nostalgic dude. 1980, Herb Brooks, The Miracle on Ice. It could happen. Crazier things have happened, and that was really crazy. That was like a high school team beating a pro team. So if you were in any sport, that was a high school team beating a pro team. The Russians were unbeatable. Like, nobody beat the Russians. That was like, who's the number one team in FIFA right now?
Argentina. I would say most likely Argentina, because they won the last World Cup.
Okay, so imagine if Argentina had won their last 80 matches. They were 80-0 in the last 80 matches. And the last time they lost was like 10 years ago. That's how that happened, and that's why it's called Miracle. Is there another miracle out there? I am a nostalgic dude. I am a visionary. I say yes. I say reset. Do it now. Bring them in 1 year. Who knows what we can create? Yeah. JR, lead us out.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you so much for everyone for tuning in. I'm excited to see what happens. We've got 8 months before the World Cup, 9 months, 8 months, whatever it is. So let's see what we create before then. You will see more of us leading up. Maybe after each of the friendlies, we'll do a recap like this and see where we're at. But we appreciate you, Leo. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, sir.
And peace out, everyone.
Peace.